Chuggalos, welcome back to day 11 of the 2024 Brew Crew Podcast Advent Calendar. I'm once again coming to you early in the day, well, early-ish. It's early in the afternoon. Just got done putting in my time on the Peloton, and now it's time to drink a beer. I'm excited. If you haven't, I want to call out, if you haven't seen yesterday's episode, a very polarizing beer. I did say that it would drive content was Fretboard BA Barrel-Aged Fuji. We went all the way from scores. I don't want to spoil who said what. From a 5 to a 0.25. I don't think we can get any lower. I don't know if anyone in the history of the podcast has given a 0. JT might have to sanity check on that one. But I do have a trivia question out there. For my video, for Matt's video, there's a screen grab, and I'll give $25 to anyone who can tell me how that relates to that beer without cheating. And there's a couple of you that have already been stumped and have said uncle. So those don't count either, but I'm excited. I love giving away prizes and just random trivia. But today, on today's episode, hopefully we become more cohesive, but we're making content, so we're always cohesive. We have Drekker Sweater Weather, and it's a part of their Brains line. Their Brains line, Drekker, out of North Dakota, out of Fargo, North Dakota. Their Brain series, and it's a double fruit smoothie sour. So I'm just going to get rolling this fresh out of the refrigerator. I just did a little bit, plugged some devices back in, and just did a little bit of prep, wrote down everyone's scores as I was able to aggregate the fretboard. A lot of people had fretboard. I had never seen it. I guess that's what I get for not being aware. So again, into the koozie, 6.4% sour. It's been rolled. I'm going to crack it really far away. We had one last night on JT and Phil's episode. I'd rather it stay in this carpet I don't care about than my electronics. Nose, just unremarkable on the nose, just a sour. Outshout to Chuggalo Dave, by the way. So I have to do this. On the Mothership episode, we were talking about our, electronics, and he's like, just hang the microphone from the ceiling. One of these times, one of these episodes, I got a few more left that I'm recording solo probably. I should figure out how I should just have a dangle. Like they have the boom mics in movies, and sometimes you can see the boom mics. That's a Drekker smoothie sour. I'm wondering, JT, we might have to do this. Oh yeah, that real fruit puree comes through on the backside of it. That is quite good. So the reason why I'm excited for this one is it advertises cranberry. And if you've been a long time Chuggalo and listened to us, the number one fruit in Matt's sphere, the S-tier fruit, the number one fruit is cranberry. That's why I got excited. Hopefully you saw me light up a little bit. Blueberry, that's a neither here nor there fruit. Blackberry, good, blueberry and blackberry are fruits that are in my fridge right now. Not cranberries. We got cranberry juice, though. And plums. Plums, our second plum beer after years of not having plum beers. So our second plum beer after 450 did it on day 3 with that excellent sour. As I listened to JT and Phil's and Stev's and Kate's episode or whatever, and I was like, this is why we do this. And JT has said it multiple times to Svil, and Svil has been very surprised. We don't do this to come to an agreement. We do this to create content, to have conversations, to talk about beer. And this beer is definitely, it's if you've ever had cranberry juice, and again, my favorite non-alcoholic drink by far is I take cranberry juice and I take like a sugar-free Red Bull and I mix it. I discovered that when I was in OTS in 2009. That was like my escape when, we couldn't keep very much. So I kept a bottle of cranberry juice in my personal drawer, and I had one of my mentors, my upper-class mentors, get me a 4-pack of Red Bull. And I don't know what came over me, why I was craving this. And we had an ice machine on our hallway. And that was like my Saturday and Sunday treat. Man, I would sip on that. And typically, as you know from watching the podcast, typically I drink relatively fast. relatively crushable. Most pontoon crushable things. But I don't know what it is about that drink. So 15 and a half years later, still my favorite drink as a 41-year-old man is cranberry juice, sugar-free cranberry juice, by the way, or 100% cranberry juice, not cranberry cocktail. There's a big difference there, and sugar-free Red Bull. Man, that beer is a delight. But let's go check out Drekker. So I realized I could increase the screen, so I went to drekkerbrewing.com, and we've had them before on the mothership. You can look up those episodes. Since we opened in 2014, they're not 10 years. We've made it a point to help make our community better. It's not about them, it's about others. You know what I'm saying? Like, they could have said, oh, we did all of this, all the brewer barrels and all this. No, it's about, hey, lifting up, a high tide raises all ships. So each month we select a different local nonprofit to be the recipient of our charitable efforts for the month. Keep an eye out for the next Unpillage night, where we will donate $1 from every. That's a significant amount. Great. I like how I'm talking about charity, and then right at the top of the screen it was, Stacy, destroy, Unpillage. That's really cool. Brewhalla, Chuggalo Dave has been here multiple times in Fargo. This is their drinking space. An entertainment wonderland brought to you by the Weirdos at Drekker Brewing. It's pretty dang cool, and you should come check it out. I agree. I really want to get there. There's not much of an opportunity, though, for me to get up that way. I barely made it to Waconia to see my good friend Chuggalo Dave. Awesome. Host an event. Look at that's big, wooden, inspired looking at it. And let's just check out the beers. We'll just do available now. Brew. Again, a tap list like this. So these tap lists are driven by, I know that's Untapped specifically there, but I forget the app. So Darker Side, I like when they organize it so it draws the attention of people that, hey, if they only like darker beers or they like IPAs, and they're known for their smoothie sours and IPAs. So for like 450 smoothie sours, and they're dabbling a little bit outside of that. Drekker is the complete opposite. They are a little bit more a spread of dichotomy with their beer styles, and all of their IPAs are delightful. I haven't had any of their multi-lagers, sours, their Chonk series, their Brain series, what we're taking part in today. So a lot of stuff. And then lighter side, Hell's lagers. That's awesome. Again, all powered by Untapped. I believe Steph was telling me that it costs a couple $100 a month or whatever to have that. And a lot of bars, kind of like King's Table, which will do it, or Barrel House, you get notified every time they change out a keg, which is great. Because if there's something that you're looking after, and these are reputable beer places that have sophisticated and wide-ranging, excellent beer choices, it's nice to know when is notified. And as long as you have Untapped on your phone and you subscribe to these locations, sorry about the fidgeting, it could drive more customers. So hopefully that cost is worth it for these locations. And that leads me to my next thought. I wanted to talk about Barrel House. And we've done this before. JT and Svill are doing a good job outshouting them. I believe I've hit them on most of my episodes, but if not, check out more. And this is, again, the co-sponsor, the builder, the brains, pun intended, with this beer behind this year's Advent calendar. And you can find out more at Barrel House Tap. A simply organized website, and we'll go into their beer list, but hours and info, and right there, independently owned by aforementioned Sarah, Chuggalo Sarah, and Gus, and they're supported by the best staff in Dayton. I don't know, better Matt kind of brings the average down over there, but everyone else is super sweet. Just kidding, Better Matt, I know you're listening. And then Growler fills everything. I didn't know that their phone number was Growler. That is hilarious. And we would be remiss if we didn't go check out their tap list, since I've been talking about tap lists. Boom. They update this multiple times a day on Facebook. Again, that's awesome. So if you're not getting it on your notifications on Untapped, Just go on Facebook. And that's awesome. Look at that. Still 3 different Goose Island variants. And that macaroon is, again, a sight to behold. The vanilla rye, which if you've been listening to communities, the vanilla rye is supposedly the savior for the year. But just, again, a wide assortment, lagers, sours, pale ale, Niepas, saisons, ambers, Patterspear, THC-infused stuff, and then stouts. Hell yeah. Again, you can't do any better in the Dayton area as far as ambiance, beer selection, a staff that will sit there and talk to you and, actually give you, their favorites, and plus all the bottles and everything. And the one thing I said, if it's not, you look at the tap list, I've counted 352 other selections right now that can be chilled within 5 to 6 minutes and brought right to you at your table. Hell yeah. All right, about this beer. That cranberry is the savior. Again, it's going to be hard for me to hate on a cranberry beer because I want them more. I'm just going to feel bad. But you know what you like. And Phil said something last night that really resonated with me about opening it up into a glass or whatever. I'm committed to my gimmick. There are times where I will drink it from a pint glass or whatever, but in the comfort of my own home, unless, like JT and I, and he decides to bring 2 double-digit beers by accident or whatever, and we're sharing or whatever, I'm still going to drink out of the can. Maybe I'm doing myself a disservice, and that's okay because I believe beers like this will come around because I'm not getting anything. And again, it's tight. I know he was talking about the bottle and not being able to have it open up a little bit. And stuff like that resonates with me. I'm a simple man in my own house. It's always good to hear stuff like that. Speaking of hearing stuff, God, it just... a little bit of carbonation just maybe lightens it or lifts it, but in a sour, that could be an explosive combination. It's just interesting. Let's go see what Chuggalo Kate, Team Smokeshow, has to say about this beer. Kate, take it away.
Hello, Chuggalos. Brew Crew Podcast, Day 11. Because of the previous day's drain pour, I thought I would try the next one, see if I can get ahead of Matt so we can use this. We're doing Drekker.
Yeah, get ahead of me.
Sweater weather. And it is a double fruit smoothie. So
look at her roll it.
Like sours. Probably much better than that whole barrel aged stuff. So I'm excited for this one. So here we go.
Good crack.
It's a pretty color. Look at that.
Look at that. See, I don't even need to pour in a glass.
It's like fuchsia. Deep reddish color. Oh, it smells good too. It smells like Gushers.
Ooh, Gushers, yeah. App.
Oh, it's a little livelier than our other one. I really liked our other one. This is good. It's very, very bright. The flavors hit you right away. Gimmicks. Ooh, boy. Cranberry, more cranberry. Blueberry, more blueberry. I can taste the blueberry. We got blackberry, more blackberry. Plum, more plum. Sea salt, lactose, and vanilla beans. I do like that we have plum in some of these sours. I feel like it kind of smooths it out so it's not so sharp on your palate, and you can actually drink these and not feel like you're getting gut rot. I do like it. Yeah, this is a good one for me. Way better than the other one. Complete opposite spectrum. I would give this easily a 4 or 5.
4 or 5?
Thank you.
What's it got to do? What's it got to be to get a 5 out of you? So interesting that she said gimmicks. I didn't realize it because I leave the can to everyone else. Everyone else does a far better job than me. It does say gimmicks. And if you've known anything about the Brew Crew podcast since day one, I always tell people have a gimmick. Or have a couple of gimmicks, be it the canner at boner segment, being a dork that wears headbands all the time, or off the top rope, or apologizing to one's wife every time you burp. Have gimmicks. Be lively. I'm getting a little bit long in the tooth in this one, so I apologize. 4 or 5 for her, so I'm just going to document that real quick. Off the top rope, a little carbonation would do this one better. I can't hate on a cranberry beer, a cranberry forward beer. Off the top rope, I have to give this a 5. If you're going to make me choose between this and the excellent slushy, I'm going to say recency bias wins the day. In a battle of plum beers, maybe it's plum. Maybe it's plum, the 5. Maybe I need to have another plum beer to test that theory. We got a couple of more. She was talking about gushers. We actually have a beer later in the month called Gush Your Mouth. And then we do have the last beer. The last beer is a 450 Tripping Animals collab that we have for Christmas Eve. So that's all I got for today's episode. Sorry, Stacey, I know you guys are all sad, but I was getting a little bit long in the tooth. So wherever you are, I hope you're well. And cheers.